I don't know who Kevin is.
Who are you?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the channel, and today we got a CRL West tier list. Yes, CRL West is coming back this Saturday, and we're going to talk about who do I think the best players are in CRL West right now, who do I think are the worst, and everybody in between. So starting off, we got the top category being needs a nerf. I don't know if I pointed to the right direction, but needs a nerf. These are the players that could technically, they might be Elon Musk's secret AI robots. We don't know yet. These players are so broken. They're so good. They are the best of the best. The cream of the crop. And under that, we got the amazing. These players are really, really solid players. They are amazing. These players are the best Clash Royale players. Not the best because there are broken robots above them, but they're really good. For being human, they're really, really, really good players. And under that, we got great, but could easily prove me wrong because we know Clash Royale is all about momentum, it's all about practicing, and in the offseason, you don't know what players do. These are players that have a lot of potential, had a lot of potential in the past, maybe didn't do as well last season, but they have it in them, and they could prove me wrong this season. They could easily be amazing or needs a nerf, easily. And then under that, we have meh. These players, they're good. They're probably the best, some of the best Clash Royale players out there, but compared to everybody else, just meh. And then under that, we got bruh. It's a little under meh. It's just bruh. And then under that, we got poop. Yeah, I couldn't really think of anything better for the last one. I came up with poop. So to start us off, we have Diego B. And Diego B, he is right now on Chivas Esports. This is going to be his first season on Chivas Esports. Before that, his career was pretty much totally in Liquid. It was Team Liquid all the way, and he was in the shadows of great players like Igor, Canario, Surgical Goblin. So I don't think he's really proved himself yet. I think he has it in him. I think he's a really, really good player. I want to see him succeed. I'm going to go with Matt, though. I'm going to go with meh. He really hasn't done anything to prove it to me right now. I think he's meh. I still think he's a great Clash Royale player. I think I'm being too nice. The Canadian's coming out. I'm going with meh. And then we got Kevin. I don't know who Kevin is.
Who are you?
I'm going to be honest. I know every CRL player right now in this list. I don't know who Kevin is. So I'm going to change this. Who are you? I'm going to change this just a little spot for Kevin. Who are you? Kevin, I hope you need a nerf. By the end of this, I hope you're the best Clash Royale player. Shout out to Kevin, but I don't know who you are. Next up, we got Adrian Piedra. Adrian Piedra he's a great Clash Royale player. He can pop off at any second. He's dominant. He's been in Clash Royale League for so long. He did really, really well with Complexity. I'm excited to see what he does with Chivas this season. And I think I'm going to go with great, but can easily prove me wrong. If he pops off, he gets a little bit of momentum going, I think Adrian Piedra could be easily in the amazing tier and potentially in the needs a nerf tier. And the last player is Pompeo. He's a great ladder player. I think everybody knows the name Pompeo. He's great on ladder. He didn't have the best season last season, but he's got the skills to maybe pay the bills. So I'm going to go with great and can easily prove me wrong. If this guy gets a couple of wins under his belt quick and early, he could be lethal, and I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what Pompeo does. He's probably the player I'm most excited for on Chivas right now. And then we got Azelis. Azelis is a really, really good Clash Royale player, similar to Diego B, but he's kind of been more in the spotlight a lot. He's been in Clash Royale League for a long, long time, and I think he's good. I think he has it in him. I don't think that goes anywhere. I'm going to put him in great, but can easily prove me wrong. Azelis, like I said, he can easily snap at any moment. And if he does, Tribe is looking like a very scary team because then you have Boof, who I think is amazing. This guy is phenomenal. He does have his flaws. He's not perfect, but he's god dang good. I think he's the freaking... He's got to be one of the best Clash Royale players in the world right now. At least top 10 in my book. At least top 10. This guy is phenomenal. He is really, really good. Versatile. And I'm excited to see what he does this season because he can easily move up here in a heartbeat. And there, we got Jupiter King. Yes, Jupiter King. I think he's the best player right now. Probably in Clash Royale. He's top 3 for me. And I think Jupiter King is the best player on Tribe Gaming. Jupiter King's good. He's so dang good. It is so scary how good he is. I'm scared to, whenever a player that I like goes up against him, it's scary because he's flawless. He plays like a robot. And that's why I think we got to nerf Jupiter King. Let's get that going. Yeah, Jupiter King's really, really good. He's solid, and I'm scared to see if he gets better, because if he does get better from last season, it's going to be scary. And TNT, another great player. I'm going to go with Bufamac. He's amazing. I don't think he's as good as Jupiter King. I think he has a very versatile deck pool. I love seeing what decks he comes out with, and I'm going to go with him Bufamac. I'm going to go right beside Bofamac. But he can easily be, it needs a nerf. Easily. Coming in for cream next, we got St. Bellicon. St. Bellicon, he has been in the game as long as ever. A lot of people in the Clash Royale community know him. A lot of people respect him. Supposedly he can speak a lot of languages. Also, he plays some cool decks, and I respect that. I like people that play cool decks, but that could be something that can hurt you or benefit you. Hurt you because maybe the deck just doesn't work. If it's not meta, the reason it's not meta is maybe it just doesn't work. But it could catch your opponent off guard. That's the good side. You could catch your opponent off guard, and you can get a couple of wins. I'm going to go with St. Bellicon. Great. And he could easily be needs nerf or amazing. By the end of the season, that might need a little change. Diego E. I don't know. Let's put the Diegos together. Diego B, Diego E, Diego C, Diego D. I don't care. They're going in, man. Diego E, great player. He's got to prove a little bit more to me. Michifu, player. He was on Pain. He got dropped by Pain. He's been dominating outside of CRL with semi-pro teams and in different tournament formats. I'm excited to see what Michifu can do, because he can easily be amazing. I think I want to put Michifu in amazing, but he was also playing in semi-pro leagues and other leagues where he hasn't been playing on the big stage. So maybe nerves get involved. Maybe he's just not comfortable. Maybe he's forgot about CRL and how good it is. But we'll see. I think Michifu could easily be amazing, or even needs a nerf. We'll see what happens, though. And then Pedro. Pedro's a player. I want to put him great. It can prove me wrong. I've been kind of disappointed. I think the reason I'm putting Pedro here is I've just been disappointed with Pedro. I think he's a really good player. I think my expectations for Pedro was a little too high, though. When he came from East to West, I think I thought he was going to be God tier, needs a nerf, amazing, and he wasn't. So realistically, I think this is me being petty for me putting him meh. I think he should be great, and he could easily prove me wrong, because I think he has it in him. I want to see it, Pedro. Pedro, if you're watching this, you can do it. I believe in you. We the best.
We the best.
All right, going on to the next team, we got Dignitas, and Dignitas is probably the worst team right now in CRL. I want to see it wrong. I love a good upset story. I love a good comeback story. I want to see Dignitas do well, but they don't have a good track record. I'm gonna go with Bale as probably the best player. In my opinion, he's a really good 1v1 player. I just don't know if he can compete with the likes of Jupiter King, Bufamac, and TNT. Even Adrian Piedra and Pompeo and Azili and Bellicon. All these guys are really, really good. And I think Bale is just a tier under him. He's not the best 2v2 player. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Bale. I want to see if he puts in the work, he can do it, though. He easily could do it. And then behind him, I'm going to go with Flash. He just did really well in CRL. He was pretty much the only heart in Dignitas last season. He had a really, really good couple of performances and 1v1. He's a good 2v2 player. I'm excited to see what he does. Yeah, let's put him with Meh as well. And then Codigo and Lindsay. I don't know. I'm just going to go bruh. Dignitas, you got to prove me wrong. Dignitas, I want to see it. I want to see you guys succeed, but you guys haven't shown me in the past. And I'm tired of waiting. Going into SK Gaming, this team is scary. This is a top tier team right here. And going with Javi Catorce, he was, in my mind, the best player a year ago. I love this guy. The story of where he went from some nothing, practicing, and now being one of the better players, and then going to SK and joining a top tier team, and then losing to Liquid in the finals. It hurt. It hurt to see. I want to see Javi win. I don't think he had the best season in CRL West's the fall season, no, spring season. I don't think he had the best season. I want to see him succeed. I'm going to put him in great. He can easily prove me wrong, though. I'm going to go with easily can prove me wrong. Javi Catorce is a great player. I want to see him in amazing. I want to see him in needs a nerf. He's just got to prove it to me. Morden, OP Sam, you guys are going amazing. You guys are both just phenomenal. Any team with Morden and OP Sam, they're a scary team. I don't think they're broken right now. They didn't make the finals last season. They were really, really close. They have a solid team, and going with Sergio Ramos, let's put him as great and can easily prove me wrong as well. Just because this is another player who has the potential. He has the longevity. He has some of the biggest accolades. He's played in the big stage. He's been around for so long. He has the experience. He has the skill set. This team is scary. SK is going to be a very scary team. I can easily put Morden as needs nerf. This guy's phenomenal. I'm going to go put Morden as needs a nerf. That's a buzzer beater change. I didn't have that originally as needs a nerf. That's a buzzer beater change. Morden, I'm going to go with needs a nerf. This guy's good, man. Morden is good. Also, he's tall. He's really, really tall. So is OP Sam. I wonder who's taller. All right, going with Space Station Gaming. We know this is just too easy. This is just too easy. Let's just put them where they belong. Space Station Gaming, OP. Nobody can beat Space Station Gaming. They won the last season of CRL, and it's not going to change. I might be a little biased. I'm a Space Station Gaming content creator, but they still OP. They need a nerf. It's enough said. Best of the best. This team's perfect. Best teams, best 4 players in CRL by hands. It's not even close. And now we got Team Queso. Team Queso, this is an interesting team because I think they're a good team, but I think there's 2 players that they got to figure out. Benihoo and Kuchiku are 2 players. They've been on the team for so long. They have a lot of longevity, a lot of experience, but I think they've just gone downhill a little bit. I think they need to do something. They have the skills because they have the longevity, the experience, they have the knowledge. I don't know what it is. I need Benihoo and Kuchiku to prove me wrong because I think that's the only way Team Queso does well this season. Because on the other hand, you got IMJP and you got Ruben, and I think these 2 are 2 of the best Clash Royale players in the game right now. IMJP came from CRL East, came to West. I was super excited to see this guy play, and it is scary to watch. It is scary to watch because he's a player that doesn't make misplays. It is like watching a robot play the game. It doesn't go off. There's no variance. It seems like it just goes to the stats. If he has a good matchup, he wins. If he has a bad matchup, it's still pretty dang close because their opponent usually is human. They make mistakes, and IMJP capitalizes on those mistakes. He's a good player, and beside him, we got Ruben, who I think is probably one of the best Clash Royale players right now. He is phenomenal. I casted an SSG Cup, saw Ruben playing it, King of the Hill, reverse sweep twice. Insane to watch live. The guy is phenomenal. He's got the experience. He's young. That's insane to say that he has experience and he's young. He was really good last season and the season before, and if he gets better, I am scared. He does really well outside of CRL. He does really well inside CRL. This is going to be wild. If Ruben gets better, that is going to be scary for all of us. Next, we got Team Liquid. Team Liquid. Oh, baby. Team Liquid, they got one change on their team being Razor. And I think Razor is a really good player. Razor is part of the reason why Misfits even made the finals in CRL West the last season of it. It's the only reason why, not the only reason, but he was a big reason to beating SK to make it to the finals. So I think Razor's a really good player. I think he has it in him. He's called the Kingslayer for a reason. So I'm going to put him as great, but he can easily be amazing. And maybe by the end of the season, he might need a nerf. And then we got Igor. Igor's good, man. Igor's good. I'm a little biased because I like playing Mortar. I grew up. I grew up. I like to play Mortar a lot. I play Mortar. I started playing Mortar. I got multiple PBs playing Mortar. I played it a long time and a lot of time to practice Mortar. I watched Igor play because he's really, really, really good. YouTube videos, Twitch content, and then when I saw him in CRL for the first time, he dominated. He did really, really well, and that domination continues and continues and continues. So if he keeps getting better, I just love watching Igor play too. He's fun to watch. He's a really good player. I'm excited to see what he does on Saturday, because he's going to be solid. Canario, honestly, I was thinking of meh. For Canario, but I'm going to go with Canario. I'm going to say great, but it can easily prove me wrong. I'm going to go with meh. I don't know. Canario hasn't done much for me. Problem is, the reason why Canario hasn't done much is I think because of CRL last season, they had King of the Hill format as the second set. And a lot of times, this boy right here, Igor, he just won by the second set. So they never went to King of the Hill. So we never got to see players like Canario and Surgical Goblin. So I want to put both of these guys as meh, because I didn't really see much from them last season. But I could be super wrong. This could be the biggest mistake right here, because I haven't seen much. Not only have I not seen much of them inside CRL last season, I didn't see much of them in tournaments outside of CRL. I don't know. This could be a mistake. They easily both could be up here. I'm going to go with meh. Maybe that's going to motivate them to do even better. Up next, we got Misfits Gaming. We got a couple of new additions to this team. This team's scary, but it's also scary in 2 ways. It's scary because they could be really good. It's also scary because they got 2 young, really good players. that could be scared. They have fears. They have fears of playing on the big stage, and this is the biggest stage in Clash Royale. This is what everything has been leading up to, all those long nights of practicing and playing Clash Royale. Those players are Bob the Rock and Schwartzen. These players are great. These players, keep your eyes out for Bob the Rock and Schwartzen, because both of these players are insane. Bob the Rock, Schwartzen, they're versatile, they're young, they're hungry, they want to prove themselves on the big stage, and we might see that happen this season, and I want to see it happen. Air Surfer, I'm going to go with amazing. He's up there with Boof and TNT and OP Sam easily. I don't know if he needs a nerf. He might by the end of the season. He's great. Air Surfer is great. He's a legend. He's a legend. And Wings, I'm going to go with him. This team, wow, Misfits is looking good. I'm going to go with Wings. Is great, but can easily prove me wrong as well. He's a great player. He's probably one of the better 1v1 players. You know what, Wings? I'm going to go with you with Air Surfer. Oh, is that doing... I'm just looking at people and... No, I'm changing it. Wings, you're going with these guys. Yeah, I think Wings is great. I don't think he's up there with Air Surfer and OP Sam and TNT and Boof just yet. I think he has a little bit to prove. He can easily prove me wrong. And if he does, he can be with Liquid Team Igor, whatever. Friggin' Team Liquid and Igor. That needs a nerf easily. Easily. Lucas is a lot of hype on Lucas. I'm putting him in great, but can easily prove me wrong because I don't really know much about him. I've watched him in tournaments outside of CRL. I thought he was good. I didn't think he was broken by any means. I didn't think he was spectacular, but there's a lot of hype for Lucas. So we'll see what happens with Lucas. Sweep, solid. It sucks that Lucas and Sweep. I'm gonna go with Lucas as meh. I don't know, man. I want to see Lucas prove himself before he's up there with the likes of Wings and Bellicon and Javi and Sergio Ramos. I'm going with meh. This is disrespectful to Serge. This is disrespectful. Serge is the GOAT, though. Serge is the GOAT. Don't get me wrong. Serge is the GOAT. I don't think he is the best right now. I don't think he is. If you think of the best players in Clash Royale history, I think Surgical Goblin's there. I just don't think he's the best player right now, by far. I don't think he is. But he can prove me wrong. He maybe can. Sweep, Canadian player, fellow King of the North. No, I'm the King of the North. Fellow Canadian person, grew up in the cold. He's got that grit to him. He's got that work ethic. He's like 6'10". This guy's good. He's a really good player. He's a really solid 1v1 player, and he freaking absorbs knowledge like a sponge. He was known as being a sparky one trick, but he's adapted and has a lot of decks in his pool. He's going to be a rookie this season. I'm excited to see what he does. It's crazy to see him on a CRL team, and I'm excited to see what he does. And then we got Victor. I'm going to go with meh. Victor's good. But I didn't even see, when I watched semi-pro leagues, I didn't see Victor as being even like the best of the best in those semi-pro teams. I don't think he's there with Bob the Rock and Schwartzen. I think Victor's good. He can easily be up there, but I'm going to go with meh. He's got a lot to prove. Same as Wallace. Wallace and Victor, like in the semi-pro leagues, there's a lot of really good players, but they didn't stand out to me at all. I know I don't watch every single game in the semi-pro league. I do my fair share of watching the semi-pro league. I'm going to put them just a little under Bob the Rock and Schwartzen. I think they're meh. Meh is disrespectful to these people. Meh is disrespectful. Meh, no disrespect. And there it is. There's the tier list. That is my CRL tier list. That took way longer than I expected. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you yelling at me right now? Do you think Space Station Gaming is going to win again? Well, let me know in the comment sections below, and get ready because Saturday can't come soon enough because CRL West is back, baby. And remember to watch it. And remember to wash your socks and I'll talk to you guys later. Doses.